task 3 is a good moving master generates eye candy. What is eye candy? So you get eye candy when you have blurry frames because you move the camera past a static object or an object which is moving in a different direction. This is how a moving shot looks different, obviously, from a static shot, right? A moving shot looks different because it can be seamless and because it has eye candy. And eye candy is usually blurry frames. You get blurry frames when you move the camera past a static object or an object which is moving in a different direction than the camera. And they will blur because if you shoot 35 and you look at each individual frame, then if you looked at, say for example, you had a 35 film of Tom Cruise and his family leaving, the town in the van, they would be sharp, and everything else in the frame would have a little blurry, fuzzy edge to it, right? Because you take 24 of those static, blurry images, and it looks like something. It shows you that that object is moving. Just bear in mind that eye candy is something that you want to pump into your shots, as much of it as you possibly can. Put it this way: if you have no moving shots on your directorial portfolio reel, and you go out and try and get an agent, forget it. You'll never get an agent. You need to have eye candy. You need to have seamlessness. You need to move the camera, or it won't look contemporary. Okay. Now, when you're moving the camera, ordinarily, most often, you're moving horizontally. Why is that? Because if you're moving vertically, what do you need?
A crane.
A crane. Okay. So a crane is expensive. I did an entire movie in Dallas not only without a dolly, but without a crane, obviously too. But to save money, you often will never do a shot with vertical movement. All your movement will be horizontal. Okay. What's going to give you the most eye candy is when you move horizontally in front of a vertical plane. The more vertical planes there are in your frame, the more eye candy you will get. Because verticals, will blur and go from being very obviously in frame to out of frame. All right, in the shot of Jackrabbit, when Quentin Tarantino's walking into Jackrabbit Slims, right? Where do you get what is big and vertical and goes through the frame? What's on the wall? Posters. And are they bright? Yes, and they're vertical, right? And they go through the frame one after the other, okay, to give you eye candy, okay? And how did those posters end up on the wall? Was that an accident, or was that the art director's decision? On his little lonesome, he decided to put all those posters up there. Tarantino. Okay. Now here we have some vertical movement right at the beginning of the shot, and what will create eye candy in the very beginning of the shot when we're moving vertically? Those trees, those branches of the tree. Okay. So that's why if you were the person who designed this moving master, that's why you decided to start the shot right here. Because right here, there's a tree just off camera that when we drop down and move that way, we will go through on our way to this shot. You see? So this is how you get eye candy in your frame. You go to the location, like I said, you stand there with your script in your hand, you look, okay? And you see a tree, and you've got a crane, so you're going to be moving, dropping down, you'll get extra eye candy if you can go through the horizontal branches of that tree, because you're moving vertically. You're moving horizontally, you drop over this way, you're moving right to left, and right to left. So what is vertical in these frames that's going to give you eye candy?
People.
What? People, flags. What else?
Trees.
Trees. Okay, all right. Now, So talk about the flags, okay? How did who talked to whom to get those flags there? Raise your hand, somebody. Who talked to whom? Yeah, Graham.
The director spoke to the art director.
The director spoke to the art director. So this is like, okay, this is how you, as a director, you have to start thinking, okay, I've got trees, I've got soldiers, but I want more. I can get more. How do I get more? I tell my art director, bring flags, okay? Now we're talking about you're getting eye candy by moving horizontally in front of static objects, okay? This is an irony about eye candy, which is, you get it from static objects in the location, but you can also get it from objects which are moving in a different direction, okay? Okay, now what object is moving in a different direction in this shot?
People marching?
No.
The horse.
The horse. The horse starts here and charges this way, okay? That's an extra or a stunt guy on that horse. Who takes care of that in a big set? The first AD. So the first AD, the director talked to the first AD, and that's how that horse got charging. So you move the camera past the static object. You're talking about horizontal movement across vertical planes. So you get eye candy from fences, from pillars, from trees, from a hostess tray shot. A hostess tray shot is like in the old drive-in restaurants, right? The hostesses would come out, sometimes on roller skates, sometimes on foot, and put a tray. Before drive-through, you had drive-in. They put a tray on and it would hook into where your glass of your window goes down. It would hook in there, and then it had a leg that came up and against the side of your car. And they have a camera mount which looks like that, and it's called the hostess tray, right? And you shoot through, it's a profile on a two-shot of two people sitting in the front of a car, right? And so, since you're shooting straight side, when you're moving in that shot, it's a good energetic shot because you get a good two-shot. Usually it favors the driver. If you're shooting from the passenger side over the driver's going to be turning and talking to the passenger. So it'll be more of a over the passenger onto the driver shot. And you get everything in the window behind him blurs like a son of a bitch. So it's a great eye candy shot. So, you can move vertically past horizontal lines like a building window, the mullions, the cross, anything that's horizontal. Buildings often have strong horizontal lines in their architecture. So when you go up the face of a building, you get that eye candy, okay? You're going to all this time and money, because it takes a lot of time and money to get your seamlessness and to get your eye candy, right? But in a funny way, they're not the most important thing in the scene.